Hello recruits, Cosmic Crow MC here, and it has been quite a while. I think it's been just about 6 weeks since I released version 5 of Enter the Backrooms, and then the soundtrack and whatnot for that. And that was phenomenal, by the way. I really thank you all for just supporting me for so long, and releasing that update felt so cathartic, right? Because I worked so hard on it, had tons of levels, features, wrapped up some loose ends with the game's progression, and I really put my all into it. And so to see such a positive response was awesome. Shortly after the release of the update, there were a couple big problems that had to be fixed, which I was embarrassed about, but it is what it is. You know, I do the stuff that needs to be done, and I try not to look back too much, right? By the way, you're gonna have to excuse my hair. It's gonna be constantly falling down throughout this video. I'll look all scruffy right now. But anyway, I'm here to talk about what's gonna happen next with this channel. So I gave myself about a month to just kind of relax. I spent a couple weeks fixing bugs for Enter the Backrooms, and then I just really honed in on college, because, you know, the semester is wrapping up. There was Thanksgiving break recently, so I was spending a lot of time with family then. But really, I've just been taking a lot of me time since the update, because leading up to the update, I didn't take very much me time. I did over the summer, but really all of fall, I was just grinding away at Enter the Backrooms, and I enjoyed it, mind you, but it was hard. It was hard work. So now that that's done, and now that I've had time to, you know, recharge my batteries, so to speak, I'm coming at y'all with this video to just explain what's going to happen next. So first of all, with Enter the Backrooms, release version 5 is the last major update. What does that mean? Well, first of all, there will be no more huge lump sum content updates. So nothing that adds a dozen new levels, nothing that adds a ton of new entities. If I do add anything to the game, it'll be like 1 or 2 things at a time. It'll be very minor updates here and there, just to kind of, you know, keep things fresh and interesting, or touch up parts of the game that I think need to be touched up. So do not expect any more major updates for Enter the Backrooms. I don't plan on doing any. The main reason for that is because as of release version 5, I really don't think the game needs anything else. It has way more levels than it even needs. You know, it has over 50 at this point. From the main levels to the negative levels to the enigmatic / secret levels, whatever you want to call them. It has a ton of content, and then all that content, while not as perfect as it could be, I would say it is pretty well polished. You know, I tried to work with playtesters a lot to balance things out in terms of gameplay and make entities fun and fair at the same time, and to do things with progression and stuff. You know, there's 100 journal pages to collect while you're doing all this, 120 achievements. So not only is there a lot of content in the game, but there's a lot of detail packed into that content, which is surprising since, you know, it's a Backrooms game. But I really did try hard to do as much with the content as I could, because one thing about the Backrooms is that, you know, it's supposed to be kind of infinite and barren, but at the same time, I want to make that into a more fun and approachable experience, which includes throwing in things like entities and hallucinations and items and whatnot to keep things a bit more interesting and to make some fun stuff happen between the levels while you're wandering around and stuff. But I think I've really honed in all of the things I wanted to with Enter the Backrooms when it comes to the gameplay and how you go through the game and how it controls and such. So there's not really anything I feel like I should add, because I feel like it's at that point where if I keep just throwing on new levels, they won't really belong in the game, or they'll feel too similar to other levels already in the game. And I want to make sure that everything in Enter the Backrooms can stand its own ground and feels like, oh yes, that level right there has a purpose. It deserves to be in the game. Or that entity is a good entity. It deserves to be in the game. And I think there's just so much content at this point that we're no longer in a phase of the game where I can just throw stuff on top of the pile and call it a day. There's no way to really evolve the core gameplay of Enter the Backrooms without changing it entirely. And that's not something I want to do. I feel like I kind of got lucky, to be honest, and struck a chord with a lot of people, and I don't want to mess that up by adding things that people don't want or don't need. So no major updates for Enter the Backrooms. But I'm not done with the game, so to speak. So let me fix my hair again, sorry. So things I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be advertising the game on YouTube and TikTok. I'm going to be making a line of merch for the game, because a lot of people have come to me and asked, hey, are you going to Patreon? Are you going to, you know, offer like a soundtrack or something that people can buy? Like, people have come to me asking, how can I show more support for the game than by just buying it? And so that got me thinking, you know, I don't want to do merch because I don't want to seem like a super stingy person who thinks too highly of his game, but a lot of people have asked for merchandise to be made and said they would happily buy it. And so I think it'd be a fun way for people to show their support for the game. And so that'll be something I'm working on. I've been practicing my graphic design skills and stuff all while I've been at college, so I'll try to whip up some decent designs. I don't want to just, you know, throw random logos on shirts and call it a day. I want to make some unique stuff that people can buy and have fun with and such. So merchandise will hopefully be coming soon for Enter the Backrooms. As I said earlier, I spent a couple weeks after initial release of Release Version 5. I spent a couple weeks just fixing bugs and stuff, and that'll be what I continue to do. I already have a few things on my to-do list that I need to do in terms of bug fixing, but they weren't super urgent, so I haven't done them quite yet. And another thing I might do is add more languages. There's still a couple people who have said they want to translate the game, and so language translations might be added in the near future. But yeah, no. So Enter the Backrooms, I want to try to stay connected with the community. I've been a little bit distant for the past couple weeks, and that's really because I've just, again, been taking me time. I've had a lot on my plate. And so I've been trying to, you know, keep myself in order and spend time with people who I see, you know, on a day-to-day basis, more than the people who are on the, say, the Discord. Link in the description, by the way. But speaking of the Discord and stuff, I am going to start being a little bit more active on there. I'm going to try to host a couple more community events, like things like polls, like the Tournament of Levels thing that I've been doing. If you don't know about that, just check my community tab. After Enter the Backrooms, I'm going to, you know, start making other smaller side projects as I learn game development over at college, as I learn computer science and stuff. And so I'm going to be trying to get the community involved in those things too. And let me touch on that a bit more. I already have a couple of game ideas in mind because, you know, I have this hoodie that says, you know, game developer and all that. I've really found this love of developing video games, and I want to try and kindle that and cater to it and keep doing that. So my plan is to just make small games, maybe a month or 2 months per game, but I want to make more projects, throw stuff at the wall, see what sticks, and just have fun while I'm at college. Because again, I've really found a love for game development, and I have plenty of ideas. Just to name some, I won't describe these games in detail, but there's one that I have in mind called Boss Boss. There's one I have in mind called The Creeper Man. There's one I'm making right now as a kind of gag game called Dumbledore 24. You'll probably see that pretty soon, actually. We'll have to see if I run into any roadblocks while I'm working on it. But anyway, I have stuff in the works already, and I have stuff planned that I'm not working on right now. And I'm very excited to work on that. And I'm probably going to start working on that after the holidays. You know, Christmas, New Year's, and all that. I'm going to be spending time with family. But after that, I'm probably going to start working on games because I'm excited. And back to Enter the Backrooms, something else I have planned are sales. I'm trying to do sales at least once every 2 months, I think. Because there's a lot of people who have my game on their wish list, and I did do a big price increase recently. And so to kind of offset that, I'm going to try to do a lot of 50% off sales. There'll be one going up around the holidays. I think December 22nd is when it starts. So if you don't have the game yet, but you have it on your wish list, look out for that. That'll be coming in about 3 weeks. But yeah, no, I have a ton of stuff planned. Some of it's related to Enter the Backrooms, but a lot of it's just new stuff, and I'm really excited to get to that. As for this channel, I kind of want to get back into Minecraft stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoy Minecraft, and I haven't really taken too much time to play it since the summer. And so I would love to just make more Minecraft content and make more game development content, you know, devlogs and stuff like that, and just kind of whatever I want, honestly. I'm really excited because now with this position I'm in, I don't have that long-term project to constantly be worrying about. I can just kind of go out and do my own thing. And speaking about worrying about things, with Enter the Backrooms, one thing I was worried about was the performance, right? Because I was dumb 2.5 years ago and decided to try and make the game without a proper game engine, using processing for Java. And that was a big mistake. A very big mistake, a very novice mistake too, because processing is not built to make games, especially 3D games. You can maybe get away with 2D games and you'll be fine. You'll still run into some issues here and there, but 3D games, get out of here, right? But that's what I wound up doing, and I've made it work for the most part. I've made it work to the best of my ability, anyway, because without, you know, really just dropping everything in my life and trying to grapple more advanced programming concepts that I am too inexperienced to understand right now. Without doing all that, there's no way I can feasibly make Enter the Backrooms run better, look better, stuff like that. So as for performance, unfortunately, I don't think there's much I can do. I did a couple minor updates after release version 5 dropped that helped the performance, but that's really the most I can do, and I apologize for that. That was a huge oversight on my part. The thing was, it was either, you know, restart Enter the Backrooms, or keep running with this half-deflated football, right? So I just decided to stick with it and do the best I could, because I didn't want to scrap everything and start over. Because that's a really hard thing to do. If you've ever played Getting Over It, you know that starting over is really hard. And so I hope you can appreciate that decision on my part. But that's in the past, right? That's done. Yeah, so sorry for going on for a bit long here, but my big takeaways here are Enter the Backrooms is finished, so don't expect any more major updates, but do expect tiny little things here and there. Maybe a new enigmatic level here or there, maybe a new entity, but don't get your hopes up, right? Just expect bug fixes and maybe like new languages and such. Also, speaking of Enter the Backrooms, while work on the game itself is done, I'm going to do more to promote it and more to offer to players who want to support me, so stuff like merchandise. I don't think I'm going to do a Patreon, so I think merchandise will just be the big thing. And outside of Enter the Backrooms, I'm going to be developing more games and maybe posting progress updates or just little tidbits about those projects onto this channel. And as well as those, I'll be trying to do more Minecraft content on this channel. Like Shrinking Survival is a series that I love doing, but just stopped because I wanted to focus more on game development or just playing Minecraft normally. But now I really want to get back into it because I think it's been over a year since I made the last episode, and I still have the world, I still have the save data and everything, so I should really get back into it. But maybe I won't. We'll see. We'll see. No promises, but I kind of want to. Anywho, that's really all I have. I just want to give you all this status report since it's been over a month since I dropped any videos. I wanted you all to know what's going on about Enter the Backrooms, and I wanted to be as clear as it could be. Because I think transparency is very valuable as a game developer, and so I don't want to let anyone down. I want people to know what's going on. But anywho, I love you all very much. I have heavily enjoyed almost everything with Enter the Backrooms. There are a couple roadblocks and a couple things that got me down here and there, but a lot of those are on me and not on you guys. But no, you guys really are fantastic. You're a big reason why I continue working on Enter the Backrooms, because as you know, it feels good to make other people feel good. So having these people playing my game and enjoying it was great to see. And while I've tried to learn to just appreciate my game for what it is and just enjoy it for its own sake, it is very nice to have some external validation on top of that, right? But like it or not, external validation is fun. So thank you all so much for the support and for playing Enter the Backrooms. I just looked at sales. Today we hit over 20,000 copies sold, and that's incredible. That it's awesome. It really is. And you know, I've looked at some other games, right? Some other Backrooms games that I believe are inferior to mine. Because while they look nice because they're made with game engines, the gameplay isn't that good. They kind of force multiplayer in there without playtesting. You know, they have these flaws that I don't see in Enter the Backrooms. But then again, Enter the Backrooms has plenty of its own flaws. But I see those games and I find it hard to not compare myself to them. Because they'll get all these sales, they'll get all these big YouTubers playing them, and it'll make me feel a bit sad. But like I said earlier, I've forced myself to just be happy with what I've been given and what I've got, because 20,000 copies is a lot. Sure, it's not as much as those other guys, but I don't need that, right? What I need is what I say I need. And what I say I need is you guys. The guys who have supported me through thick and thin, who have bought my game, and who have sung its praises, or who have even criticized it and helped it improve. Really, all of you are just phenomenal. And you know, with Thanksgiving right behind us, I just want to express how grateful I am for your support. It's hard to put into words because it's a weird feeling, and I don't even know or understand all the feelings that you guys give me. But it really is fantastic to know that I have, you know, so many people who not just support my game, but who support me as a person, and it's fantastic. So I thank all of you for contributing to this sort of little community we've built around my game, because it's really cool to kind of lead the way with something like that. So you all are fantastic. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you again, hopefully, very, very soon. Until next time, goodbye, recruits.